Everton target Nick Woltemade will command a fee of around €40 million. That is the news coming out of Germany today. It had been reported that Stuttgart were willing to listen to offers of around 20 million for the forward who scored 17 times in 33 games this season. But apparently that isn't the case. They're looking closer to the €40 million mark. Brighton also interested in him. Looks like a really good player. He's a player who's played the majority of his games as almost a second striker, if you like. Travels well with the ball. Like you say, score goals. I think he'd be a really good signing. Everton credited with a heavy interest in him, so we'll have to wait and see whether or not they're going to pursue it. He is expected to play tonight for Germany in the Nations League semi-final clash with Portugal, so 8 o'clock kickoff. Check it out if you want to have a little look at him, but he should be available for Germany tonight. Everton have today been linked with the move for Spurs midfielder and former Brighton player Yves Bissouma. The 28-year-old has been tipped to leave Tottenham Hotspur this summer. Everton credited with a link to him today. Says the most likely destination is Everton, according to some sources today. He was very highly rated when he was at Brighton. I actually thought he was a great signing for Spurs, but he's had some issues. He's also been injured a bit. He is a talented footballer, but 28. You wonder how much Spurs are looking to recoup for him. Everton seem to be on the lookout for a midfield player, though, so who knows whether David Moyes will go for him. He does like Premier League experience, Moyes as well, of course, doesn't he? But it is going to be a bit of a mixed rebuild this summer, and Bissouma may well fit the bill. And sticking with Tottenham and Everton links, Richarlison once again tipped with a return to Everton. Richarlison, who's back in the full Brazilian squad at the moment, was part of Tottenham's Europa League winning side a few weeks ago. Apparently, Spurs are ready to allow him to leave on loan with an obligation to buy, and that's been set around the £30 million mark. One journalist who's close to Tottenham sort of refutes the link, though, and says he feels that if Richarlison is to leave Spurs, and he does feel like he will, he'll probably go abroad. He said, and that's simply because he hasn't got any concrete information that Everton do want the player. He said the player would like to return to the Toffees, but he feels like he may well go abroad, so we'll wait and see with that one. And the final bit of transfer news today is about a young player who Everton are chasing. Former Everton striker Danny Cadamarteri's boy, Caelan Cole Cadamarteri. He's a 15-year-old player. He's attracting the interest of Manchester City and Chelsea. The Sheffield Wednesday player, Danny Cadamarteri, has said that he knows as much as we do, but if Everton are interested, they need to get in touch and get the deal done. But at the moment, he is an owl. Not physically an owl, he plays for Sheffield Wednesday. But Everton are looking at him. And again, we definitely do need to start looking at these kind of players. The likes of City and Chelsea pick them up and then, develop them. And sometimes they don't even play for them, but they sell them on for big fees. But our academy has dropped off in the last few years. We're starting to get it back a little bit. The likes of Brien Graham's come in and done really well. And we do know that Caelan Cole is highly rated, so if Everton could get that deal done, then we could have another Cadamarteri scoring in a derby in the few years. You never know. And finally, Charlie Adam is apparently set to leave Everton this summer. He joined on a short-term contract as a set-piece coach. David Moyes did say he'd look at it again in the summer, but according to the training ground guru, Charlie Adam is to leave Everton this summer to pursue his managerial career. David Moyes did say, when he sort of set out his coaching staff back in January, that he'd have a look at everything in the summer, and the ones he'd chosen so far might not necessarily be the ones that he finishes with. So who knows if there could be more shake-ups, more people to come in and join David Moyes' coaching staff. I'm sure we'll hear more on that in the next week or so, but apparently Charlie Adam is to leave Everton Football Club. That is it for the News Daily. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. See you later.